Bhakti Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. ISKCON Vartmanacharya Vrinda ki jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. ISKCON Viviti Foundaracharya His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Prem Srila Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhana ki jai. Mathura Dhamma ki jai. Nagari Dhamma ki jai. Jagannath Dhamma ki jai. Jagannath Swami ki jai. Vrindavan Dhamma ki jai. Ramai ki jai. Ramai ki jai. Bhakti ki jai. Tulasi Maharani ki jai. Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Gaur Samaveta Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Oh, glories to the Son of the devotees, oh, glories to the Son of the devotees, oh, glories to the Son of the devotees, oh, glories to Shishi Gauranga, oh, glories to His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. Oh, Vishnu Pada, Krishna Krishna, oh, Shamate Bhakti Vedanta Saraswati, Gaurava Krishna, Vishesha
Лето.
Лето самое стежно. Добре. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 18, Text 1. Shri Shuka Uvacha Tatacha Vadrashrava Nama Dharma Sutaha Tat Kula Pratayaha Purushaha Sakshat Bhagavataha Vasudevasya Priyam Tanum Dharmamayim Hayashirsha Abhidanam Paramena Samadhina Sanidapya Idam Vigrinantaha Upadavanti Shri Shuka Uvacha Tatacha Vadrashrava Nama Dharma Sutastat Kula Patayaha Purusha Vadrashva Varshe Sakshat Bhagavato Vasudevasya Priyam Tanum Dharmamayim Hayasheshabhidanam Paramena Samadhina Sani Dapyedam Abhigrinanta Upadavanti. Shri Shuka Uvacha. Shukadeva Goswami said, Tatacha, similarly, just as Lord Shiva worships Sankarshan in Lavrita Varsha, Bhadrashrava, Nama, known as Dharma Sutaha, the son of Dharmaraj, that of him, Kulapatayaha, the chiefs of the dynasty, Purushaha, all the residents, Bhadrashvavarshe, in the land known as Bhadrashvavarsha, Sakshat, directly, Bhagavataha, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudevasya, of Lord Vasudeva, Viyantanam, very dear form, Dharmamayim, the director of all religious principles, Hayashesha Abhidanam, the Lord's incarnation named Hayashesha, also called Hayagriva, Paramena Samadhinam, with the highest form of trance, Sanidapya, coming near, Idam, this, Abhigrinantaha, chanting, Upadavanti, they worship. Translation. Sri Shukadeva Goswami said, Bhadrashrava, the son of Dharmaraj, rules the tract of land known as Bhadrashvavarsha. Just as Lord Shiva worships Sankarshan in Nilavrita Varsha, Bhadrashrava, accompanied by his intimate servants and all the residents of the land, worships the plenary expansion of Vasudeva known as Hayashirsha. Lord Hayashirsha is very dear to the devotees, and he is the director of all religious principles. Fixed in the topmost trance, Bhadrashrava and his associates offer their respectful obeisances to the Lord and chant the following prayers with careful pronunciation. Text 2. Bhadrashrava Sauchuhu Om Namo. It's okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Dharmayatma Vishuddhaya Namaiti. It's okay. Translation. The ruler Bhadrashrava and his intimate associates utter the following prayer. We offer our respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the reservoir of all religious principles, who cleanses the heart of the conditioned soul in this material world. Again and again we offer our respectful obeisances unto him. Purport. Foolish materialistic persons do not know how they are being controlled and punished at every step by the laws of nature. They think they are very happy in the conditioned state of material life, not knowing the purpose of repeated birth, death, old age, and disease. Therefore, in Bhagavad Gita 7.15, Lord Krišna describes such materialistic persons as mudhas, rascals. Namam dushkritino mudha prapadyante naradamaha. These mudhas do not know that if they want to purify themselves, they must worship Lord Vasudeva, Krišna, by performing penances and austerities. This purification is the aim of human life. This life is not meant for blind intelligence, for blind indulgence in sense gratification. In the human form, the living being must engage himself in Krishna consciousness to purify his existence. Tapo divyam putrakayena sattvam shudyet. This is the instruction of King Rishabhdev to his sons. In the human form of life, one must undergo all kinds of austerities to purify his existence. Yasmat Brahma Sokyam Tvanantam. We are all seeking happiness, but because of our ignorance and foolishness, we cannot know what unobstructed happiness really is. Unobstructed happiness is called Brahma Sokya, spiritual happiness. Although we may get some so-called happiness in this material world, that happiness is temporary. The foolish materialists cannot understand this. Therefore, Prahlad Maharaj points out, Maya Sukhaya Baram Udvahato Vimudhan. Merely for temporary materialistic happiness, These rascals are making huge arrangements, and thus they are baffled life after life. So we are starting this 18th chapter, and it's called The Residents of Jambudvip Offer Prayers. As we mentioned 2 days ago, there are so many prayers in the scriptures, and we can learn so much about Krishna and about our relation with Him from these prayers, but we can also learn how to relate to the Lord, how to communicate, how to address Him, and how to offer prayers. So prayer can be very simple, like I offer my respectful obeisances to the Lord with all my heart and soul. He is the supreme controller, He is the supreme enjoyer, He is the supreme master, He is the source of everything, He is the source of our strength. Therefore, I offer my obeisances to Him. And here, these prayers start with a simple prayer. It's just offering obeisances to the Lord. But there is one important thing in this first prayer. There is few important points. One is that He is the reservoir of all religious principles. So, religious principles are not something that is man-made, that a man will concoct. Nowadays there is so many religions, so many processes of getting happiness, of success. But religious principles are not man-made, they are God-made, and they are eternal, they are timeless, and they are always there. So, sometimes the word Dharma is translated as religious principles. The word Dharma has many meanings. It can be translated as duty, truth, and also eternal occupation of the living entity. So religious principles are not principles of some sectarian faith. Religious principles known as Bhagavad Dharma are actually eternal. They are always there. They are laws, laws of God and laws of nature. And we are advised through the scriptures of the world to follow these religious principles. In all religions there is instruction to follow the principles given by the prophets, given by God through the scriptures in all religions of the world. And when people who are very mature in their religious practice meet, even if they are from different religions, they would agree on most of the things. Because if somebody has advanced in his spiritual consciousness and in his relationship with God, then he will be able to appreciate people from other religions. So the word Dharma is so important also for each and every one of us. We say that we have to discover our Dharma. What is my Varna and what is my Ashrama Dharma? What is my Varna Dharma and Ashrama Dharma? Varna refers to what we can do, and Ashrama refers to our qualities, and it refers to Ashrama or the situation, whether one is a brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha or sannyasi, whether one lives as single, alone, or he is in a companion with a partner of the opposite sex. So, over the past 30 years, I have met so many devotees, and even nowadays I'm meeting devotees, and many devotees are lost. They don't know what is their varna, they don't know what is their ashrama. They need to find themselves. And you can help them to find themselves. You can help them to find what they can do and want to do for Krishna, and to find their optimal ashrama situation. When devotee find his, I heard that Srila Prabhupada said, first find your varna, then your ashrama. I heard that, I have seen the devotees who have found their mission, who have or chosen their mission, or discovered their mission, that they are more peaceful and more happy in Krishna consciousness. Sometimes devotees come for a conversation and you ask them, what do you want to do? And they say, I like to do everything. Who told me yesterday, I heard that Oprah Winfrey said, I can do anything, but I cannot do everything. You understand? So some people say, I like all services, I can do any service. I don't have a particular liking. Once I asked in Ireland, I asked Advaita Swami, what do you like the most in Krishna consciousness? And he said, I like everything, something like that. So we are persons and we have personal likings, particular likings. And we may be attracted to a certain kind of service, and also, actually, in the Nectar of Devotion, it is said that we should follow in the footsteps of a particular inhabitant of Vrindavan, being attracted by a particular service. And I heard recently, now there are so many books, memories books, and devotees quote Prabhupada saying things that we have never heard before. And I think somebody asked, you know, Prabhupada, whom we should follow? Who is this president of Vrindavan that we should follow? It's stated in the Nectar of Devotion. And Prabhupada said, I am that inhabitant of Vrindavan that you should follow. So if you were wondering, whom should I follow of all these wonderful devotees from Vrindavan, Prabhupada now gives an answer that we should follow him. And in order to follow him, we need to learn his Vani, or his teachings. That's why we have Vanipedia and Vedabase, to always associate with his Vani. You are so fortunate to be in Krishna consciousness, but I also want to say you are so unfortunate. Why? Because you have bought Prabhupada books, and before you joined, you read them a lot, but now they are on your shelf or on your Android phone or iPhone or laptop, and they stand there peacefully. They stand there. You don't read. Because why? You don't have time. But if you don't read, you will forget why are you doing this, all these services, cleaning, cooking, even distributing books. There is devotees who distribute books, but they don't read them. And at some time, they stop distributing. It's not bad to distribute books and not read them, it's also service. But if you read, you will stay. You will become convinced. Some devotees say that if we don't read Prabhupada's books, we will stop chanting Hare Krishna. You may say, well, I never read, but I always chant. Okay, if you can do that. But it will be more powerful also if you read. And if you have any doubts and any difficulties, then you will have answers, you will have tools, and you will be able to overcome these obstacles more easily. So what is your Dharma? What is your specific Dharma? You may say, my Dharma is Sanatan Dharma. That's fine. or Sankirtan Dharma. Sanatana Dharma, there is Varna Dharma, Ashrama Dharma, and Sanatana Dharma. So Sanatana Dharma is our eternal Dharma, occupation, being a servant, loving servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and His devotees. And but if we look at advanced devotees who have remained in Krishna consciousness for a long time, most of them have specialized. They have specialized. They have a project or they have a particular service that they like, and they put a lot of energy in this, and they become experts. Srila Prabhupada said, you should know everything of something and something of everything. So become expert in one field and have a general knowledge and general skills how to do basic things in life. So, do you have a need to find yourself in Krishna consciousness? To find your place, to find your service, to find your role? If you have this need, then you should work on it with assistance of others. You can do it for yourself. There is one book called The Passion Test. So this book actually helped people to find what they want to do. And if you say there is 5 things that are important, and this book helps you to actually find of these 5 what is most important. I haven't read the book, and I have just looked a little bit, but I see that these authors, they help people. There's even live on YouTube. You can see how they help people on the stage to do that. So, what is it that you like to do, that you like to offer to Krishna? What is this service that you like to put your heart into? Now, most of you have experienced doing the needful. Doing the needful, because it needs to be done. You want to get some humility training, because maybe you are intellectual, but you never cleaned anything. Devotees say you have to do humble services because you will become puffed up. This is good for pride. So you do the needful for 3 years, 5 years, maybe 10 years. And then you don't know who you are, you become lost. You have done so many things. You have so much critical mass, you have so many accumulated credits. But at one point maybe you want to specialize. You want to focus on one service, you want to become very good at this, and you want to put your whole heart into it. You want to put, if there is something that attracts you so much that you want to put your whole heart into it, you can become expert in that field, and you can become very happy and very successful and very effective in this. So yes, we should be ready to do the needful, but also we are persons. We are distinct persons, and we can have a liking for a particular type of service. So some devotees really like to cook something wonderful and offer it to Krishna and to devotees. They find great pleasure in this. Some devotees really like to decorate the deities. I knew one devotee, she was very good with people. That's rare, to be very good with people, to listen. Very rare. She can listen so well. She can encourage you, support you. And I was thinking, wow, it's very rare to meet such devotees. So I said, why don't you work with people? And she said, no. She said, I do this anyway. Ladies come to me, cry. And she said, my desire is to decorate the deities. To decorate, I have to do something with my hands. This is my desire, to decorate. And then what happened? At the Bhaktivedanta manner, you cannot easily get the service of dressing Radha Gokulananda. Some devotees wait for 20 years. Pujari, Gadadhar Prabhu is very strict now. You can dress golden tie, but no Radha Gokulananda. So this Bhakti, this Mataji, after 2 months, she just got second initiation. Actually, she got second initiation so she could do Pujari service. And she punched back to Pujari. And then this head Pujari, he saw that she's very talented. She dressed very nicely, and also the always noticed, wow, who did this? And after 2 months, she got this service, and some devotees really, really freaked out. After 2 months, she got this service, and I'm waiting for 20 years. I still don't dress. But she has this strong desire to decorate for Krishna. So try to look at your heart and see what is it that you really want to offer, what you can offer with love. Sometimes, you want to offer something from your heart. And people can feel it when they receive the gift, that wow, it's not so much about the gift, but how it was given. So similarly, you can think about what is it that I want to offer to Krishna, or to devotees also. What is it that I want to offer? Now, when you look at Krishna, he's a person, and you think, okay, what does he like? And what I want to offer to him that he likes. Or if you look at any particular devotee, you think, what does he like? For example, what does he like to eat? What does he like to wear, to dress? What kind of thing will really inspire him? I don't know, maybe somebody was dreaming about dust of Vrindavan, and you go to Vrindavan, and you bring dust and say, I know that you want dust, you don't have money to trip to India, but I brought 1 kilo of dust to you. So now you can shower. You said, really? You know, I was actually dreaming being in Vrindavan, and I couldn't believe it. Now you gave me this dust, and I have my desire to go to Vrindavan is even bigger. And then you say, well, I don't only have dust, but I have a return ticket for you to India, because I got some donations. Wow, really amazing. In the Ljubljana Maharaj, there was one little girl from Macedonia called Sita. I met her when she was 5-6 years old. And I gave her little Krishna. And then I went to England and here and there, and I haven't been visiting Macedonia for a long time. And I came back, and she was a teenager. She was in a punk band, the lead singer and violin player. So then she showed me this little Krishna. She said, I still have little Krishna that you gave me. And I'm trying to be Krishna conscious, to listen to my mother. And then she invited me to her concert, and 3 Brahman initiated prabhus came to this smoky hall concert place with this band, and listening to this band where Sita was playing. And she was very happy. She gave us the CD as a gift, but somehow she started to practice more Krishna consciousness, become more serious. and she saw Indradyumna as well. And she was very, very inspired and attracted. And Maharaj, for her and her boyfriend, now his husband, Ayodhya Prabhu, he paid their trip to India. And everything there that you need to pay, the food and accommodation. And now she's initiated. Her name is Sita Charana. She's going to Woodstock every year. She's a kirtan singer. She organizes Harinams in Skopje. And we saw her in Hungary just at the festival, the Shinka festival. Oh, actually, no, Vyasa Puja festival of Indradyumna Maharaj. But she's happy. So, Krishna sometimes sent devotees who fulfill our desires. She had a desire also to go to Vrindavan. And I told this story because Maharaj paid the ticket, and I mentioned this, paying the ticket. So if somebody really wants to go to India, and there is another example also from Macedonia, Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu, devotees from around the world somehow collected Lakshmi for his first trip in India after so many years in Krishna consciousness. But it was given from the heart. Also, when my mother was sick in the winter, and I was also sick, and then so many devotees sent donations. They were so kind. I'm so grateful to everybody if you're listening. One devotee, I sent a thank you note, and she said, this was given with love. It wasn't a very big donation, but I felt grateful, and she said, this was given from the heart, this was given with love. So if you want to choose something, think like this, that, well, what can I give really from my heart? What I'm naturally attracted to do for Krishna. There is so many opportunities, so many options, so many services, so many possibilities. And there is something that attracts you. I was attracted to translating books very much. And I thought this would be great to stop cleaning, cooking, distributing books, buying boga, washing pots, and start translating. I would be very happy. And the devotees gave it to me. And when I started doing this, I saw, oh, I still have to surrender. Because to sit for 6-7 hours a day, after you have filled up your belly with halava and khichdi, in the morning is lunch in the morning, lunch at the noon, lunch in the evening. It's very difficult. So I approached Sachinanda Maharaj, who was also a translator and very enthusiastic prasada lover at the beginning. What did you do when you translated? Did you stop eating halava? And I was afraid his answer would be yes. And even more afraid that he will say, you should do it too. He said, no. He said, you walk. You absorb halava and whatever is there for the breakfast, and then you walk and you spend it a little bit. I thought, when we started speaking about this, can you help me?
Surrendering, doing what you book or translation.
Let's see who is awake.
You were translating books?
Oh yeah, I did what I like to do. I was given something I like to do, but it was still not so easy, and that was the point. Oh, thank you. That was the point. So even if devotees give you blessings to do something you like to do, there will be challenges, it will not be so easy, and you will have to surrender. But if you like this kind of surrender, you can see and you can try to do it. But I believe that all of us, at least for a few seconds, have experienced that, oh my God, this is so wonderful, I would like to do this all the time for some service. And so you can think about, how can I do this more? How can I do this more? What is it that you're naturally attracted to? You can always do the needful, that's nice, this attitude is humble, but is there something that you're really, really inspired to do for Krishna? And this can become your mission, this can become your Dharma, and this can give you a lot of strength and inspiration in Krishna consciousness. I encourage devotees to become famous for Krishna. Devotees are shy, and in the material world they say, you become a brand. You become a brand. You become a brand. One person, you become a brand. You have a name, you have a face. You become someone in the world. Someone who offers something valuable. Someone who gives some value. Someone who can offer to people something that they need. Somebody who knows something, and somebody who is a trusted guide. Somebody who is a trusted guide. So whatever you do, whatever you choose to do, become a trusted guide in your field. I have an ebook called Become a Trusted Guide, and even Sachinanda Maharaj read it. You can see what he said at the beginning of the book. And when you read this book, you can get a vision of what you can become and what kind of a role you can have in a society and also in ISKCON. So why should you play small? Prabhupada said, think big, shoot for the rhinoceros. He was thinking very big. I'm just a small devotee, I'm just cleaning a little bit, or I'm just coming for prasad on time at a Sunday feast. This is my devotion. Kirtan is too long and lecture also is boring, so I'm excited about that prasad on time during the Sunday feast. But if you're regular for 20 years, I'm sure you will start to dance after some time. Regularity. Madhvacharya is quoting Varaha Purana, and he says that there is some devotees who are externally very ecstatic, and some devotees are very quiet and introvert. But this is not how you judge someone's devotion. You may say those who are ecstatic are more surrendered and more devoted. And Varaha Purana says that devotion is judged by the merciful vibrations from your mouth and by your steadiness. How long you not give up. The whole life. Steadiness and the merciful vibrations from your mouth. So if you always speak spiritual things, these are merciful vibrations, but it also, you're compassionate and you encourage people. This is also merciful vibrations. And you can be a trusted guide, you can be a great source of support for others. And if you help others, then Krishna will be pleased. You think about yourself. What will be me? How shall I continue my Krishna consciousness? What will be my material situation? But if you start to think about others, Krishna will take care of you. Look at the devotees around you. Everybody has something they need, and you can provide this. What do you need? What can I give you? Yesterday, I have a Lakshmi seminar. When I was in Buenos Aires, This was the most attended seminar of all my seminars, whole South American tour. Most people came and I got the most donations after the seminar. But it was these pesos, not dollars. So it's less value, I mean, but I was grateful to get anything. When you start to speak about the money, even in association of devotees, very few, or almost nobody is sleeping. So I was speaking about money, and I had this Lakshmi seminar, and I have some files there. There is one BTG article, there is my notes. And this morning, yesterday, one devotee who is a coach, he said, can you send your Lakshmi seminar? And I sent him, and I was thinking, I should send him something else, one audio message. And Bhakta Andre was there, he heard it. I sent him audio message on Facebook. Prabhuji, if you want to become rich, start teaching about abundance. Because this universe is abundant. Start teaching about abundance, so develop abundance mentality as opposed to scarcity mentality, and start giving. Start giving. When devotees come to me and say, oh, I have no money. Can you give me some money? I got some donations. Yeah, I can give you money. The next time they come, oh, I have no money. Can you give me some money? I say, no, I can teach you how to make money. There is a non-vegetarian proverb from China. Give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. Teach him how to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. Now, Prabhupada also used non-vegetarian proverb. Catch a fish without getting wet, or catch a big fish without getting wet. But I also have a vegetarian version. Even not vegetarian, there is no food in this version. Give a man some money, you feed him for a day. Teach him how to serve, you feed him for a lifetime. So this is a greater help. I can give you money, but I will die, so you don't have source of money anymore. Better you learn how to make money. So I told him, so when devotees come to me and say, I don't have money, I tell them, start giving. And they say, but I just told you I have nothing. I'm penniless. Okay, maybe you don't have money, but you can give a smile, you can give a hug, you can give a kind word, you can give some support, you can give maybe some of your clothes. People are afraid to give even what they don't need. How many of you right now, just be honest, have something that you don't need, but you're not inspired to give it away? You think maybe I will use it, or maybe my daughter or my children. Okay, there was a couple of hands. So we are afraid to give because we have scarcity mentality. The more I give, the less I have. The spiritual principle is the more you give, the more you get, so that you can give even more. So that you can get even more, so that you can give even more. But pleasure, you can assess your consciousness by this question. What I'm relishing more, what I'm taking more pleasure in, getting something or giving something? Think about it. Now, if I now ask very difficult question, unpleasant question, how many of you find more pleasure in getting something? And you raise your hand. Yeah, this is Hare Krishna people. They like to give. Now, if I say the next question, all of you should raise your hands if you are not lazy. Because nobody raises hands for getting something. But you can trick me. You can say, yes, I like to get a lot. Why? So I can give a lot. So you can connect too. So synergy, integration. So don't be afraid to be rich. But think about getting things so you can give, not just you can have it for yourself and enjoy it. It's just not so pleasant to do that. So, what is actually our Dharma, whatever we do? Our Dharma is serving and giving. This is what we are meant for, we are created for, that's why we exist, is to serve and give. And if we forget that, anything we do, that we have some selfish, even you may chant the holy name whole day, but if you are selfish, you will suffer. You will not be happy. If you think I'm chanting because these girls, they can see how, I'm amazing kirtan player or whatever, this is, you will not be happy. But if you chant to serve and to awaken all these souls in any kind of body that they have, then the Lord will be very pleased with you. So, whatever you do, the essence is loving service and giving. And if you remember that, I think you will always be happy in any kind of service that you do. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. We can take one question. Who has the best question? You.
I always ask, but maybe somebody else wants.
No, you can ask.
So my question is, often we are told that we should live in one place and commit to community so that they can take care of us when we grow old. But the road is like to travel, so how to travel and belong to a community.
But you belong to a global community. You feel everywhere at home.
Yeah.
If you take you can take sannyas, you can take vanaprastha and travel preach like Mother Urmila or Mother Narayani. And everywhere they receive you nicely and feel at home. And once Mother Urmila told me that she was at the airport and nobody was there to pick her up. And she was thinking, oh, what shall I do now? I just sit here and wait and chant. So you should be ready that nobody picks you up. I had this experience in Amsterdam. My first visit, I came and nobody was there to pick me up. And I was thinking, now I'm going to depend on Krišna. I'm going to be patient and wait. So I fell asleep a little bit on the bench, and I wake up and looking, and still nobody's there. Like a couple of hours, maybe 3 hours. So I said, okay, better I use my professional skills, become proactive, and look at the internet. I didn't have internet, but ask this lady the information. Please look where is the phone number of the Hare Krishna Center in Amsterdam. She did that. I phoned, and Prabhuji says, "Hi Paul, oh Akrura, Prabhu, nice to hear from you. Where are you?" Well, I'm at the airport waiting for the last 3-4 hours. Nobody came to pick me up. Oh, said, oh, sorry, we don't have a car. But they didn't tell me. So then he explained to me that, how to get with the train, and change the train and the tram, and it was a trip. It was interesting. But if you want to feel as a family member of the global devotee community, you have to be ready for such things and still feel a family member. Because devotees are here, but you just didn't come to pick you up. So don't get angry. I don't know if this answers your questions, but this is my answer. And I personally am very restless. That's why I liked the Rolling Stones before, because Rolling Stones is restless. I can't stay in one place, and I was forced to stay in one place for many years, a few places. And it was like I became a non-entity. But as I started moving, I felt, wow, this is me. Now I'm alive again. I can, breathe. Even physically, maybe my nose is blocked, but I breathe. So you have to see what is your nature, whether you like to fly or you like to die in my case. But believe me, if you like adventure, you got to move. Actually, Radha Maharaj played on harmonica this blues called You Got to Move. And I changed this original old blues into Hare Krishna blues. So one day I will play it. And then you will hear this thing that you got to move, child. Krishna is calling, get ready, you got to move. And also connect with other vanaprasthas, if you want to be a vanaprastha, and ask them how do you deal with, what are your challenges as a vanaprastha? And then they say, sometimes they don't pick me up. You can ask Adipurusha Prabhu also, he lives like this, traveling around. And sometimes they think, oh, you're just, devotees tell me sometimes, oh, your life is easy, they treat you like a guru. Yes, but sometimes they don't pick me up. So I'm just, don't know what to do. Depend on Krishna or phone. So better, depend on you. Apply the UI success principle. What is the UI success principle? U, Y, I. Who can guess? One of the most powerful success principles I can teach you. Shut up. He knows it. UI, he heard it. What is U, Y, I? It's an acronym. Please guess. What?
Use your intelligence.
Oh, where are cookies? Use your intelligence. What's your name? Jagat?
Jagannath Sutta.
Jagannath Sutta. This is such a high name. That's why you are so intelligent. Use, never forget, always remember Ui. Akrura Das said Ui. What is Ui? Use your intelligence. You think when you come to Krishna consciousness, I just have to follow. Don't think. Don't speculate, Prabhu. And then you think this means that you don't use your intelligence. What's your name? You. No. I forgot your spiritual name, sorry. Mataji, I'm looking. Yes, you. Spiritual name? Tejaswini Subhadra. Okay, so she was in India. I saw on Facebook she's in India a lot. And then, so tell us, in India, do you have to use your intelligence to survive?
Oh, yes.
It's just amazing. It's like another planet. You have to think, otherwise you are finished. In Slovenia, everything is... I was just in Russia for 3 weeks. And good luck if you ride on Russian roads. In Slovenia, it's just so pucka. There is no bumps. And if there is a bump, then there is a huge stress and trauma. And you say, what is Mr. Puchar doing? You're so spoiled here. In Russia, nobody is cursing Putin for the bumps on the road. Because bumps are everywhere. I was riding 2 times 300 kilometers. Oh my God, never ride on the road in Russia. So we had to use our intelligence and stop every 50 kilometers to get a little bit of a break from bumps. So please, if you become a devotee, it doesn't mean you become, like mindless, you don't think, you don't use creativity, you don't use your intelligence. Please use your intelligence. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Yes?
Why only one question?
Huh?
Why only one question? There are many questions.
Really? Well, if Temple President says that time is okay, it's 9:03, So if devotees,
They will leave. If they want to leave, they will leave.
some who need to leave, they can leave, and those who want to stay, they can stay. But when you walk, then don't make this noise. So walk like Maria Muni. Because I just cannot think when this market comes. You have a question?
I have, yes. I have more than one.
I'm in trouble now.
One question, what if a person somehow is so blocked they don't find anything that inspires them, either spiritually or materially?
You give them a long hug if it's the same gender. You see, people are closed. We have this tendency, because we have been hurt so much, we have been injured, wounded, we close our heart, we close ourselves, and we live in the cave. So when you give people a lot of support, love, you believe in them, then they start to breathe and they start to think, oh, maybe I can live, maybe I can do something. Oh, actually, I have desires, but I was never brave enough to admit them to myself and to others. And so somehow you help them to relax and then start to live again and to be a person again. Otherwise, you become a non-person Hare Krishna. Non-person, no desires, no understanding. I'm afraid to desire anything. So sometimes I bring them back to the past. I mean, you have people who were amazing in the material world, and when they come here, they become like, they were amazingly successful, but here devotees smash them so much that they cannot breathe anymore. Sometimes even combination senior and junior devotees, they smash them, and they don't know who is their authority now. So it's a great question. If a person feels blocked, this is a great important service we should do for devotees. When we see that somebody is like this, then help them to open up and start to breathe, and also there's so many chakras are blocked. Okay? Yes?
In connection with this, you inspire everybody to become a trusted guide and a coach and so forth, which is certainly very important. Prabhupada said we want millions of
Acharyas.
yes, millions of boys, girls.
10 million acharyas.
And also just now you mentioned that you become a non-person. So sometimes when you take some kind of a leadership role, people treat you not as a person. You are depersonalized. They project their expectations upon you, and they will sometimes put you on a pedestal, or without putting you on a pedestal, they will have some expectations, and it depersonalizes you, and you become a function. You become a function, and it creates a lot of problems both for you and for them and for everybody. Because we are persons. So, how would you suggest avoiding such a danger?
Such what?
Such a danger. How to avoid such an obstacle of depersonalization? So becoming, in the West it's called transference, counter-transference. They see you, a male authority figure, for example, right? There are already 3-4 possible expectations that they will project upon you, and you'll be squeezed very strongly into this. And even it seems to be encouraged in our Shastra that don't think a guru an ordinary person. It's even encouraged, transference. And obviously transference can be used positively, but there are dangers in it. So what would you say is the proper way to not to lose your actual personality, and not on one way, what inspires them is that they see you as a leader, but then in the process of being inspired, they kill you.
Or you allow them to kill you.
Yeah.
it's our responsibility to preserve our own personality and not lose ourselves in the role. It's a great question. I actually sometimes meet very, very senior devotees who have this. You probably have a similar experience. If you have a position, if you have a title, then there are so many expectations, and slowly you become a machine who is trying to fulfill people's expectations. That's why I encourage private time, to have your own time where you connect with God and connect with your own soul, and you know, practice spiritual life from the inside out, not from the outside in. I think everybody needs private time to think. We don't encourage thinking so much because we have a tendency to speculate, and it's dangerous. But actually we need to think, we need to feel, we need to sit and, you know, ask ourselves, or sit with a friend who will ask us, what do you really want? Where is your Krišna? Where is, do you really like that Bhakti Lata grows in your heart? So it is a great danger to lose yourself, and then you lose your enthusiasm, and you lose your effectiveness, and it's a very, very difficult situation. So everybody should be careful. This is actually brainwashing. Even somebody who is strong can become brainwashed by the role. Brainwashing means you are not yourself anymore. You're not. Now, maybe New Age people will tell you just be yourself. And when I see this, almost anytime I see it on the Facebook, immediately in comment I write, which self? You say, just be yourself. Which self? In myself there is an angel or a devil. So which self? And they say, come on, just be natural, be spontaneous. No, which self? There is two guys, isn't it? How many of you agree that there is two guys?
More. Many.
There is also Mayavadi impersonalist or somebody.
Plenty of you. There's a crowd.
Well, maybe, you know, some people were gifted by God multiple personalities. I know for about two. I don't know about more than two, but probably there is. Yeah.
Even body, mind, intelligence, you know, that different egos, different roles.
Do you teach this in the Bhakti Bhagavad, multiple personalities?
No, that's Bhakti Shastra.
Okay, so are you satisfied?
Can you say something more about this?
I have a question for you. After this lecture, we have agreed to go to BTC for a Bisburger.
Yes.
My question is, do we have to pay for it? No? I want to pay for you, but if it's free, then it's okay. Okay, the third question, but then we will ask other devotees.
That was Brigendra's invitation.
Yeah, he's so kind. And Govindas is so amazing. I'm so critical of food, but I cannot complain about Govindas. But we will see in a bit. It's okay. Third question.
Further to this second, I would say what also helps is equal connections, equal friendly connections. Peer, yes. People who don't treat you as senior or junior, but well, there can be seniors who will be helpful in that regard. But also, but there you try also to sort of shape up and be on your better, put your better foot forward. But with equals, you can. It helps you best to stay your own self. So that's why you can see that Madhyam Bhaktas are defined as those who make friends with devotees.
Mm-hmm. So you are saying that this is helping, this kind of association is helping you to be yourself. Ideally, you can be yourself with anybody. You know, you can be open and you can admit and you can listen to others without judging and without being talked down. But it may be easier with peers. And then, who is a peer? Is it somebody who came at the same date? You know, who is really a peer? It's not easy to determine who is a peer, isn't it? Who is a peer? How do I know who is a peer? But I think even more important than this is if there is trust, you can be open. They may be younger or older, but if there is, you can feel you can trust them. I remember seeing one devotee on Facebook, and by accident they sent me a request. And I said, wow, I have never seen such a face, such an honest face. I can trust this person 100%. And then later when I get to know the devotee, I saw that I was right. But it's very rare. Usually trust is built very painstakingly and you get to know the person, and sometimes maybe there is some a loss of trust. But when there is a trust, then we can be very open and we can admit our whatever weaknesses and speak about our obstacles openly. And that's like, you can have a formal devotee care system, but devotees, if you have a system of devotee care, it doesn't mean you have devotee care. Because system doesn't care for devotees, caring devotees care for devotees. And I have people, even from very famous communities, which are famous for care, who are contacting me and speaking about things they don't talk about with their counselors. Ideally, they should say everything to the counselor. So I'm just saying that we need someone we trust to speak openly about everything, and then we can, make a plan. We can make a plan, and that's, to me, that's most precious in the association of devotees. If you have, we speak about having a friend, but what does it mean, having a friend in Krishna? If you don't have friends in Krishna consciousness, you will leave. But what does it really mean to have friends in Krishna consciousness? It means there is huge amount of trust with someone, one or two, or whatever. So this is, I think this is this high value, and then we can. Now, we have a tendency to focus on the bad. So, if you are a helper, then I think it's very important to also notice and encourage and support the good in the person. And then these weaknesses will become easier to deal with. Sometimes devotees tell me, please tell me what's wrong with me. And I say, well, there is so much right with you that I almost cannot see what's wrong with you. But the culture is like this, it's like a fly culture, as opposed to bee culture. You know, bee and the fly, bee goes on nectar and fly goes on wounds, or on something I don't want to mention in the Bhagavatam lecture. So we want this bee culture, looking for honey, or nectar. Okay, the last thing I want to say is, it's too late. If anybody has questions, we can speak after the class. But once one coach was asked, can you give us what metaphor would describe the coach the best? What would you say? And then she was a lady, she said, wow, nobody asked me this question so far in any interview. So she was thinking for a minute, and she said, pyramid explorer. Why coach is a pyramid explorer? Because what are you looking for in the pyramid? Treasure. You're looking for jewels. So any helper, any counselor, any coach, any mentor, he wants to see that jewel inside of you and this is your real self, which is pure, which is beautiful, which is amazing, and want to help you to awaken this. So always look for the jewels in people, and you will also be happy. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Prabhu